Springer summoned off the bench to pinch hit.
Just stay on the ball and cash in this base runner from third.
The 0-2.
And a base hit into center field. And the Blue Jays have the lead.
Terrific at bat by Springer. His first career pinch hit.
He lets out a big scream.
That's a big spot right there, and I'm happy I could help us.
And that's his 1,000th career major league hit. A terrific milestone for a very good player.
That was the 1,000th hit of George Springer's career. He's one of 45 players in the majors with an even 1,000 since 2014, and he's standing by with Arash Madan.
Well, George, I don't think any of us would have thought at the beginning of the season that in late August we'd be thinking about just where this team would be without Ross Stripling. When you get that kind of contribution from Strip, how significant is that?
I mean, it's huge. You know, obviously yesterday, you know, he gave us everything that our team needed and more. You know, he was electric, and you know, he's been that way all year. You know, I know it probably didn't start the way that he would want it to, but I personally feel like he's been throwing the ball well all year, and you know, he did it again last night.
When you dove into home plate, your reaction felt like an October moment. What's that electricity like?
I mean, that's just a lot of emotion. You know, I know it's been a little bit of, you know, a harder stretch for us. It's really hard to explain. You know, obviously that's a big moment right there, and just energy, emotion came flying out.
What's the toughest part when the group's scuffling and there aren't a ton of answers? What's the most difficult part of that?
Just to keep going and to understand. I mean, yeah, it's August 20th or whatever it is, but you still have to play a lot of baseball, but your destiny is in your own hands. And to just understand that you're going to have ups and downs, and no matter what the time of the year is, obviously, you know, becomes a little bit more magnified now because we're kind of running out of time as opposed to having a ton of time. But just understand, you know, who we are, what, you know, we are capable of, and just go out and play.
It was around a year ago where the season really turned. It was an Oakland series at home, and you guys came here around Labor Day, swept them. Does this series feel like a significant one? Division opponent. New York has also been having some struggles. Does this feel bigger?
No. I mean, every one from here on out is huge. You know, there's not one game, one series that you can look at and say, you know, this isn't a big one. So, you know, obviously, yeah, you know, being in our division, you know, being, you know, here, the position that each team is in, you know, all these games are gonna, you know, have that kind of win or go home attitude, I guess, or kind of have that feeling, but understanding that you kind of just have to take it one day at a time, and you know, hopefully have us, you know, come out on top.
So let's talk one game at a time. DH leading off, your OPS is nearly 1,000 in your career against 95 plus. Take us inside this matchup tonight, and what's going to be important for you?
Just getting something to hit. You know, obviously, you know, he's got 3 really, really good pitches. I mean, 4. I mean, I've faced him a ton. You know, I know how he operates. You know, he knows how I operate. But you know, at the same time, it's just one of those. You know, you just got to get something to hit. You know, hopefully hit it and, you know, pass the baton on to the next guy. When
there is that familiarity, is that advantage hitter a little bit or not?
I mean, I think it depends on who you are. You know, I don't, you know, obviously, you know, but being in the AL West, you know, faced him a ton of times. You know, I know, you know, who he is. You know, he knows, you know, how I like to hit. So, you know, I look forward to the matchup. But I obviously know, you know, he can throw the ball, you know, with the best of them. So I know who he is, and we'll see what happens.
As always, appreciate the time, man.
All right.
Early action, Cubs and the Orioles. Bottom of the 5th, man in the corner. Jose Mateo lays down the bunt. Adrian Sampson with a nice glove flip to home in time to get Austin Hayes and keep it scoreless. Some nice defense in the sunshine. The Camden Yards, top of the 6th. Wilson Contreras, give him 18 as he goes off the top of the wall and into the seats. The solo shot makes it 1-0 Cubs, top of the 8th. Contreras does it again. This time not bouncing off the fence, but 447 feet away. Chicago wins it by the final of 3-2. It's the wild card race in the American League that we're running out of space on the board. The Red Sox have now joined the fray, so make it 7 teams fighting for the 3 available spots. And speaking of, Another game of interest as it relates to the standings. In just a few minutes, the Red Sox take on the Pirates. Boston has won 5 of 6, and they can move a game above 500. First time in a long time. You can find that game on Sportsnet 1. Our focus on the rest of the Sportsnet channels is that guy, George Springer. 16 of his 1,000 career hits have come at Yankee Stadium. Will this be the night that the Jays get it rolling, or will the Yankees do the same? Two teams struggling, a 4-game series will determine a lot for both.
Don't sweat the technique.